You're watching 5-Star Takes with Tony Deppen. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like it, and also watch my fucking podcast with these guys because it was great.
I have 4 beers prepared for tonight.
4?
Yeah,
Four?
4.
Damn.
And normally I have 3.
Are they all?
But yeah,
are they
no,
all-
yeah, you know what they are.
They're all the Bush heavy.
Yeah, come on, man.
I don't know.
There ain't nothing like a good bush. We'll have to leave it at that.
It is 10:54 p.m. my time right now. I have not eaten a thing today, and we're drinking 4 beers on 5-Star Takes. Let's see how this goes.
Hell yeah, dog.
So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you're spending all that time at work, and I mean, well, I guess after slinging that stuff around, you got to have zero desire to eat.
And like a lot of times, like I shouldn't say a lot of times there isn't time for me to eat. I'm somebody, I like to sit down and enjoy food, and like rushed eating bothers me.
It's the only way I do it.
Yeah, no. So like there are definitely like 5 minutes, 10 minutes here or there that I could like make something real quick, sit down, eat it. But tonight was not one of those nights.
Do you want to eat it? Is it like something that you ever, or do you eat it enough because you just work there and it's free food?
I mean, I've found that like I eat there like a lot less, like the more I work there. But like I still do eat it like sometimes. Again, but like I think that has less to do with me not wanting to eat the food and more to do with the way I would have to eat the food.
Yeah, no doubt.
I get you there. But guys, I wanna get your take on this, and this is something we don't normally do on this show. We usually kind of talk a little bit and go right to the show, but this is something that I wanted to bring to your attention. So a little earlier, a couple hours ago, prior to us getting on here and recording, I was down the street with my wife and my son. They where we live in South Elgin, they over the summer they have like music every Wednesday night by the Village Hall, and we were down there listening to this country band, and they were playing that song, Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
Yeah, Cool in the Gang, man.
No, actually, that was Wild.
Oh wait, no, that's Wild. And that song, that's a crazy story about that song. Is that he fucking, that whole story is true. He just like went and saw a show, and then he was like, "Oh man, I really want to do this," and so he wrote the song. And someone yelled out, "Play that funky music, white boy," and then he's like, "Oh, I got to make this into a song," and then he wrote the song, "Play that funky music, white boy."
Okay. So that's cool. Actually, I'd never heard that before.
Yes.
But so my wife and I are talking, and she basically said to me that she said because they were talking about songs and stuff, and I always like to yell. I want to go to shows just for shits and giggles. Freebird, and she does not. I told her, I said, Freebird is way more of a. Even it's not, you're technically a country song, but to me, Freebird is more country than Play That Funky Music, White Boy. My wife does not agree with me, and I told her I was going to bring it up on this show. So I got to ask you guys.
Neither of them are country music, my friend.
But which one is more country? Like,
I mean, Freebird certainly.
Southern rock, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's what I told her. And
yeah, and Play That Funky Music, White Boy is funk.
It's more funk.
I mean, it's not like really funk, but
yeah,
I wouldn't consider either of them country.
Oh, I don't either, but I think Freebird's more closer to country than.
Yeah, it's definitely more redneck.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going.
Oh, hell yeah! Fuck yeah, dude.
So I told you I was right, hon. Love you.
Yeah, well, I agreed with you until I heard what we were talking about, and then I just can't. I'm sorry. DDJ's right. I started out by being on your side, but he convinced me
I mean, he
telling me what was going on and just giving me the facts. So.
Good job, Isaac. You're still part of this show.
Hey, man, I can't argue with that. I will say it's no Hank Williams Jr. though.
No.
We the club right down the street from my house announced a Hank Williams Jr. Tribute artist
Oh my god.
For
man's
sometime in
still
the
alive.
future.
Wow.
Oh, it's crazy. The venue down the street from my house, they do a lot of cover bands. It's insane. Like they'll do like, oh, it's cover night. It'll be, you know, the ultimate tribute to Metallica playing alongside the ultimate Tool tribute with the Linkin Park tribute opener. And I'm like, dude, I would rather fucking stab my own eyes out than go, you know what? I'm paying $20 to go see the Metallica tribute band. I will just go see Metallica.
So
dude, some of those tribute bands are really good though. I went my wife took me for, I want to say, I think it was my Christmas present. We didn't go, I think it was till like the end of March, and we went and saw this group that was called One Night of Queen, and it was basically this guy who performs, and he looks and he sounds just like Freddie Mercury, and then he has this band that plays all their music and stuff.
Is he as gay as Freddie though?
Yeah,
I don't believe he is.
I don't think anyone is. Shit.
But you know what though? But hey, you know what? Whatever his lifestyle was like, man, that Freddie Mercury knew how to do it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Sure. There's a cover band. I don't know if y'all heard of them. They might just be regional to like the Northeast area, but it's a Led Zeppelin cover band, an all ladies Led Zeppelin band.
Yeah, Les Zeppelin.
No, I've never heard of that, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard of them. Like Wade knows about them certainly. But DDJ, you going and seeing like the Freddie Mercury Queen deal is way different because he's dead and they don't play shows anymore. Like I mean I guess they do it. Well,
they
yeah,
but
with,
Adam Lambert.
Yeah, and that's
I mean, he's no Freddie Mercury, Queen. But
yeah, I mean it's
like going to see Sublime with Rome.
Well, no, now you're going to be able to go see just Sublime because Sublime, dude, it's so fucking funny. Did you know that Sublime with Rome is going on their farewell tour this year? So that way next year they can just be Sublime without Rome.
It's so dumb.
They're literally calling it their farewell tour.
And they only had like fucking what? I feel like
two records.
Yeah.
Dude,
none of them very good, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say it. Sublime is a fucking classic banger of my childhood.
DDJ, do you practice Santeria?
Anyway,
yeah,
we're gonna be bleeping a lot of shit on this.
Work overtime, man.
Holy shit, we haven't even done the intro yet.
It hasn't even been 10 minutes.
Woo!
And on that note. Oh my god!
What a banger! Anyway, yeah, definitely more country than Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
Thank you. That's all, and that's all I needed to hear.
He's just gonna cut out like the last 7 minutes of that. It's gonna be you going, yeah, no, neither of them are country, and then there's just gonna be the weird cut, and then it's just gonna be, yeah, it was just neither are more country.
Yeah, definitely, dude. You convinced me. Well, so
all right,
welcome.
So we got a few things to talk about. Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, Isaac, go ahead and welcome everyone. You have
I would love to. I would love to welcome everybody to 5 Star Takes. I'm Isaac. We got DDJ, our lovely host and God, the godfather of fucking 5-star takes, and Shane, my dear friend Shane, the beer man, out of Columbus, Ohio, the land of opportunity and where the streets are paved with gold. I've heard. So.
Did you fix your hair during the intro, by the way? Because your hair doesn't look as wild as it did before. I feel like
Me or him?
you.
Oh,
I was going to say I don't have that much.
maybe. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, but I have been.
On. You look great,
Okay.
dude. You look
thanks.
you look like a
Yeah,
young Tony Schiavone.
We missed Shane
Oh.
last week, Isaac.
I was here last week.
I know, so was I. But
I know
missed
you
Shane.
said we did miss Shane. Missed him very much.
So I figure, you know what? In all fairness, we spent most of last week talking about SummerSlam. So I think we should give Shane some time to talk about his thoughts on SummerSlam. But before we do that, just in case Shane didn't watch the show last week, we have an updated scoreboard here. So as you can see, Shane, after going perfect, you've taken a 1 point lead on
Look
on
at
me
you go,
here,
man.
and Isaac's bringing up the rear.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm just out here having fun, dude. I'm playing the game for the love of it, not for the championships. Look at you! Wow,
that's not me. I just
like
you call me Tony Schiavone. Reminded me. Somebody sent me that and was like, "Dude," well, actually, no, it was my my boss. And at the meeting yesterday, he was like, "Is this you? When did you win silver medals at the Olympics?" And I went, "Whoa,
70 something.
That's crazy." But yeah, SummerSlam. I don't think SummerSlam had any like real match of the year candidates as far as like actual work goes. I don't know if you guys brought this up last week, but to me, it felt like an upgraded Attitude Era pay-per-view, where like the in-ring work was not really the focal point. It was a storyline show. A lot of big blow-offs, a lot of ways things kind of headed. But I do think it has a great opportunity to maybe be overall like pay-per-view of the year. Just because like as a whole work, it was really excellent. Like I'm not going to look at any of those matches that happened 10 years from now and go, oh God, I remember, even like the Gunther match was not the most exciting thing in, his career.
It was good, but it wasn't the same level that we're used to.
But like, again, the things you are going to remember is the dissolution of the Judgment Day as we know it.
Over tendies, bro. Over tendies.
Yeah, and Finn being a really mean guy.
But it's like I think I mentioned when we talked about that last week. I mean, Finn's kind of got a legit gripe because at the SummerSlam prior, Damian Priest kind of inadvertently cost Finn the world title against Seth Rollins. So I mean,
no, I mean, I feel like the Judgment Day, as a whole, really, since they moved away from like the weird spooky shit that they were doing at first, I mean, has been a stable that's been mostly like, rooted in things that you can understand. You know what I mean? Like their motives a lot of time at least make sense,
Right.
But then, back to SummerSlam again, you're going to remember Roman coming back, right? You'll probably remember the first, Walter, world title win as well.
What match was like a standout though? Was that fucking Logan Paul? That moonsault's gonna stand out.
Yeah, and LA Knight, winning his first, singles championship in WWE. So yeah. I mean, like, I don't think any of the matches were really higher than like a 3.75 to 4, but I would rate the show as a whole like a 4.5.
And even though it was 100% predictable, in your opinion,
yeah,
well, it was for Shane because he got everything right.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like even with like being like 100% predictable, right? And like I had a feeling, but like like I just go with what I want, who I want to win more than who I think is going to win sometimes, and but
And see,
that makes it interesting when you can know the outcome and still like be like swerved on the way they get there.
that's one.
Yeah, I mean, woo!
Brewers.
Yeah, they got one out in the top of the ninth. They're hopefully going to close out and get a much needed victory against the Dodgers tonight. So they got 2 more outs to go.
Let's
How
go.
much? What's the score, DDJ?
How's your closer? Who's your
5-4.
closer?
5-4.
Devin Williams was who just came back from a couple weeks ago from a back injury. He was actually an all-star last year, and he's been and stuff. He's been all-star the last couple of seasons and stuff. He's one of the best closers in the game. It's nice to have him back. But one thing I wanted to talk about, kind of getting back on track, is you talked about the show being predictable. And see, this is one thing that it really irks me about a lot of the IWC out there, is that they always rag on this show being too predictable, and stuff. But see, to me, predictability does not always equal bad.
No, sometimes it's necessary in telling a good story.
That's 2 outs.
Yeah, I mean, think about some of like the classic, like, again, people love Disney, right? Disney movies are predictable as hell. Like, every time, what's going to happen by the end of the movie, and that's, the good guys are going to win.
And I think, and I do genuinely think, and I'll let you finish your thoughts on SummerSlam after this, but I think it's like a symptom of like the Vince Russo booking, right? Where it's like everything has to be a swerve. Because wrestling, like for the most part, was predictable, right? Like you would have like the good guys against bad guys, and the good guys usually would end up winning after, facing the difficulties. And it's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, like throwing twists in a movie just to have a fucking twist in it in your story doesn't necessarily make it better. And sometimes it makes it a lot worse,
Man, they got those
tell a
12.
story.
Oh yeah, it was a quick 9th inning for the Airbender. I'll take it. We needed that win desperately.
But yeah, no. I mean, again, just because you know what the ending is going to be doesn't mean that the journey isn't special. You know what I mean? Or at least that it can't be special.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like I feel like a lot of people, myself included, from the start of this Drew Punk thing, kind of realized that Drew was going to win. You know what I mean? There was a part of me that was, kind of worried, but I mean, that's where my head's been the whole time. And it just does, it hasn't mattered. The build has been so good. And again, that's another match that I'm just like, man, like this was really good, but it wasn't,
right.
It just didn't quite get there. I feel like if this would have been a triple threat match with Seth Rollins, it would have been like a 7.5 star match. Well, I mean, again, just because Punk is old, and that's not to say that he can't work. He, very clearly can, still do his thing. But if you got 2 workhorses in there like Drew and Seth, and they can kind of bounce off of each other, and then
you give him a chance to catch his
breath. Yeah. I mean, and again, work Punk in with big spots and shit where it makes sense to showcase him.
Sure.
And again, that's not to say that I think Punk did anything wrong this match. Again, I just don't think it fully clicked. You know what I mean?
You know what? None of us until right in about 5 seconds has mentioned at all. The goddamn ref cam comeback out of nowhere. Talk about out of fucking nowhere. The ref showing up. I
loved it.
I popped hard. I was like, the fucking ref cam. At least it wasn't the helmet, but yeah, that was funny. And fucking Rollins, I mean, he's fucking so good. He was great as the
he was incredible as a special guest ref.
Yeah, so good.
Like I said, I just wish he would have been able to work. You know what I mean?
Oh no, totally. I wish he wasn't injured.
And you know what? Honestly, I think that might be why I feel like the match didn't click fully, because they did spend so much time, working the whole Seth is the special guest. And honestly, I that's a brain blast just now, but I do think that was why I felt like the match didn't really reach where it could have been, because they could have spent 5 more minutes just working You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of I don't know, the bracelet thing is I mean, they're doing it fine, but it's still like it's hokey.
I just heard.
As soon as Seth put on the bracelet, I was like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
Seth's got the bracelet. Here we go.
I just heard Shane mention Brain Blast, and I'm wondering if that was a Jimmy Neutron reference.
I don't know.
Yeah. No. Was that Jimmy Neutron or That's So Raven? Was the That's So Raven thing?
No, I don't know what that
Brain Blast
was, but no, Brain Blast, I believe, was Jimmy Neutron.
Yes, but yeah, it was some Nickelodeon show I watched when I was
That's
a kid.
So Raven is Disney, so yeah, so it's Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah. What was the thing where she would go and like go through her mind? Anyways, yeah, no, SummerSlam was awesome. I mean, again, it's one of those things where I kind of wish I would have shelled out the bucks to go, but I didn't.
How far of a drive would it have been for? And I can't remember. I think I might have
2.5 hours.
That's not too
just
bad.
Depending. No, I mean it's just when the tickets went on sale, the nosebleeds were like $250.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, that just if it would have been in Columbus, a much better chance. But paying $250 to have a way worse seat than I could just watch in my home for $15 or however much Peacock is a month, to drive 4 total hours, to drink
driving too.
to drink about 17 or 18, $18 beers,
$30 beers.
Wait, 17 or $18 beers?
No. But
okay.
Dennis, I don't know if this is gonna shock you, but it absolutely shouldn't. But I drink like a fucking sailor at wrestling events. Like,
man, that's a lot of money to spend on beer, though.
Listen, if you saw me in person and saw my rotund belly, it's money well spent. If I end up in the cold,
is sling beep and drink beer, man. He doesn't have time for this shit.
Yeah, no, like for my local promotion, which I'm so bummed I'm missing. They're running this Saturday.
Unsanctioned.
Yeah, but I have
shout out to Unsanctioned Pro of
absolutely
Columbus, Ohio.
I was gonna get there, but thanks for stealing my thunder.
Hell yeah,
Isaac stealing his thunder.
But
I'm just shouting out our friends, man.
But yeah, no, they're running this Saturday, and I got family stuff. It's fine. I'm not actually that bummed. But
yeah, I'm actually going to the Brewers game Saturday with my 2 nephews. Which
heck yeah.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, I want to give a quick shout out to my nephew Julian, who actually just got sworn into I believe it's Freeport, Illinois, their police department. He's becoming a police officer. He's going to be leaving for heading down to the police academy for training very soon. So shout out to my nephew Julian.
I love those movies, man.
They are. I was actually on the way home from work today. I was talking to his brother.
The guy makes all the sounds just with his mouth.
Yeah. Yep. Shit. Michael Winslow.
Yeah, dog.
I asked him if they'd ever seen the Police Academy movies, and my one nephew's becoming a police officer, says he hasn't. So I'm like, all right, that's going to have to change. So,
yeah, I've got a little fact here for you that you might not know.
What's that?
That nobody in WWE history has ever secured a victory in the main event of the Big Four pay-per-views in the same year.
So nobody's headline Rumble.
Nobody's won the main, they might have. So like Austin, if he had main evented each pay-per-view, never won all 4 in the same year.
That's crazy. I'm trying to go through my mind.
I just can't. I mean, if that was going to happen, it would have had to have happened before today, because they change up main events so much now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was pretty obvious back in the day, Hogan's main eventing, you know what I mean? Or Austin's main eventing. Yeah. But nowadays, I don't even know if anybody
That's insane. I'm like
would even get the chance. I'm
trying to go through my mind and
no, man, that's
think
never...
and you think about the people who are like, I mean, it's crazy to think like Hogan never did it, or Taker never did it.
No, not in 1 year, because he would always win like WrestleMania.
No. You know what? I think you might be wrong. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry, because Batista won the Rumble the year that Cena won the championship. But wait a minute. Batista won the Rumble. Batista beat one at Mania that year. I believe he won. He beat. You know what? No, I want to say. Oh no, wait, no, because he didn't.
So, am I missing something? It's nobody's ever main evented and won the big four shows, right? Nobody's ever been last match and won.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why that's just not that shocking to me. I mean, I'm like, yeah, that's
shocking to me when I think about it. But I also am surprised that it hasn't happened yet, because it's something that you would think Vince would be like, oh, we got to have somebody who's so dominant they win.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking, especially back in the day with Hogan, because I'm trying to think of the 2 years that he won the Rumble.
I mean, you have to think.
He.
But did he main event?
Main event Survivor Series.
He made it. Well, let's see, 1990. So Hogan wins the Rumble. He lost to the Ultimate Warrior at Mania.
He fucking broke him, dude.
Wrestle Wiki, dude.
I mean, look at him.
No, I'm just trying to think.
You want to talk about fucking brain blast? I mean, his eyes.
I didn't think it would have that effect.
His eyes went glazed. He went directly to the top of his brain.
But I'm just trying to imagine in my mind, like all those years, and stuff. So
no, it's kind of crazy. Incredible. I'm sure someone will
steal a line from Shane. That's incredible.
So I wonder, is it going to be someone like Braun Breaker, perhaps, or Walter?
I just don't think there's a chance. I don't think there's a chance you even see that as an opportunity. I mean, maybe with WrestleMania being 2 nights, and it'll help if SummerSlam goes to 2 nights. I mean, I suppose that presents an opportunity, but like, again, it's probably not going to be the women. You know what I mean? Like the women, I mean, in that point, I guess the only way I could see it is if somebody maybe wins the Rumble, wins at Mania, and then just has the championship. You know what I mean? For the next 2 shows. I mean, that's the only way I can see it even happening.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had to read it a couple times. It was like, huh. I was like,
where did you find that at, by the way?
I don't know, on the fucking internet, man.
There's all sorts of shit on there. He was taking tokes off of the old peace pipe, and he had a brain blast. He was like, oh fuck, man, I know a fact, and it just happened, dude. It was pattern just spitting out
oh my
facts
God,
lies. Lies, bad lies, good lies. Sorry, Dennis.
You're good.
Brandon Sanderson, read the books.
How about NXT going on the road, man?
All I can say is it's about fucking time.
I'm interested because they're running arenas, man, and that's what shocked me was. Is NXT popular enough to do well at arenas on the road? I think that one of the coolest things about NXT is that super intimate right there,
I agree.
The crowd.
It's that same crowd, I mean, if they did like the intimate arenas, if they basically ran venues like that AEW's running their shows in right now, but all over, I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's like that same building, and most of the time it's usually the same fans, and it's just, I've been saying it for years that NXT needs to go out on the road. I, for one, am excited about it. And I mean, I think this is going to be a test. I fully think, because it seems like whenever WWE's in town, like Chicago is like a place that always will bring the people in, and I definitely feel like I think both these shows are going to sell out. I would love to go to the one in Chicago, but unfortunately, I will probably be stuck working that day. So,
I mean, you can't request it off or anything, buddy.
No, because I don't really have any vacation time left for the year. So all my vacation time's already scheduled out and stuff, and with all the uncertainty, well, I guess it's a little bit more clear now, but with all the uncertainty about my working situation, that's going to be kind of up in the air as well too. So
Yeah, no, I mean that
what
makes
it is.
sense, but
it kind of goes back to what you're talking about with the pricing of tickets for SummerSlam. Like, I love professional wrestling, but it's like I've gotten to a point where it's like I'll have just as much fun watching it on TV from the comfort of my own home, where I don't have to spend $12 for a beer or $9 for a slice of pizza. I don't have to wait in a really long line to go to the bathroom. If I have to go to the bathroom, I just get my ass off of the couch. I go walk a few steps to the bathroom, do my business, come back. I'm good. If
And
I'm
there's no
hungry,
drunk dudes hanging dong next to you while you're
well,
trying to
well,
pee,
listen.
and you have
Nope.
to think about them with their.
Since you don't want to go, how about you send that to Columbus? Because I would go in a freaking heartbeat. I love NXT.
I would go to NXT, like, because I've not been to an NXT show, like, and stuff. But I mean, I would go to that. But I'm just saying overall, in general, like I said, like as of right now, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit later. You know, with All Out coming up a couple weeks after All In. As of now, I have zero desire to go to that show. Like I would rather, go watch it with, some of the, my friends, like Silver Wolf at our friends over at Shooting Shit, which, by the way, please watch their show if you haven't, because they still are even though the fact that I am no longer on that show and I'm producing behind the scenes, they still put on a hell of a show, and definitely suggest you guys go check them out if you haven't done so. But like, I have just much
the
fun
Silver Wolf,
friends
and the Too Hottie,
and also Joey K.
Joey Big Balls, man.
But no, I have just I would
Dude,
enjoy
shit, baby.
I enjoy just as much, watching them. But yes, I would love to go to NXT and stuff. But I, for one, am excited about this.
Well, and this can segue. Well, say what you want, because I have a segue into the next thing here too.
I just wanted to ask a couple questions, then also kind of bring up real quick what happened on NXT last night, because NXT last night was a pretty big,
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, a pretty big show as far as the dynamics. So NXT isn't going on the road full time, right?
I think these first two shows for the CW era, but I definitely see this being like a test. Like,
see, I think that they would be smart to do like one show out of home base a month, and I think that's what AEW should do with Daily's Place. I've said this, and Isaac has heard this from me for years now. I think that those places are like a good identity for the show. And like,
I love Daily's Place. I love with that setup. That's a really unique setup.
Yeah, and again, you see the same fans, right? But I think that when you see the same fans, it gives a program kind of an identity, right? And especially for AEW and for NXT, right? Which is a developmental brand, and that's what it is. It gives programs like that an easy to identify identity, or do like 2 and 2. Dude, I fucking miss Daily's Place so much. Like, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but and it could just be because WWE was so fucking awful during the COVID era. But dude, AEW COVID era was crazy.
Yes,
it was. It was so good. It was genuinely good product, and that.
Oh my god! Just I mean, they were doing dumb shit, man. It was like November. It was outside. Sting was coming out, dude. It was like 42 degrees. But anyways, yeah, no, I mean, I love that they're going out.
And it was a good show last night. I mean, Chase U finally beating fucking Axiom and shit. Like,
yeah, winning the gold. And I love the Ridge Holland redemption story. For a guy that was so hated, in real life, you know what I mean?
Because of what had the
yeah. I mean, and again, Big E, has never said anything. He didn't say he did anything wrong.
It's pro wrestling, man.
And to me, he should be the only one that should have. If it would justify if he had something against Ridge. And that, screw these fans that hate him. Yeah, unfortunately, it was a tragic accident, but
it could have been way worse, man.
It could have been.
Look at draws,
Yeah, I mean, and again, it was like not the worst thing that could happen, but it was just the worst fucking thing that could have happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With
Two
that
good
spot.
dudes.
But again, you have him going down to NXT and having this fucking I'm angry gimmick, and I'm angry because of what people did to me, and then he finds Chase U, and in your head, right? And it's gonna happen, but in your head, he's gonna turn on Chase U, right? Like, when's he gonna turn? When's he gonna turn? When's he gonna turn?
Mhm.
And then he finally wins all of Chase U over, and last night I was like, this is when he turns, right? Chase U's not never gonna win anything. It just would have made sense. And then they won. And I
He
was
won
like,
him the belt,
man, that was just a really cool redemption story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and really something that, could save Ridge Holland's career.
Yeah.
I always love a good redemption story.
And Dempsey's win was great.
Yeah, I mean, Dempsey took the belt off of, the Heritage Cup off of Tommy D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Tony.
And
Tony Baloney there. Hey, yo.
So I refer to him as Tommy D'Angelo because back in the day, a bunch of my friends used to have fake Facebook accounts, and one of them, and they would just shit talk each other on like wall posts for hours. When they were getting hammered in the same room and just talking shit to each other over fake Facebook accounts. But anyways, one of them was Tommy D'Angelo. And then they also set up for Oba versus Tony D'Angelo coming up as well.
Yeah. And the Oba Otis match was a banger, dude. That shit was great. That was so much fun.
It was good.
Yeah,
for God's sakes, can the WWE please give Otis a legitimate push, because that dude is super fucking over, by the way.
He's so good, but he's
really
but I don't yeah, he can only get pushed so far, I think. The fans turn on him completely.
Again, and I hate to say it, but I agree with Isaac. I don't see Otis holding a championship for any length of time. Maybe tag titles, right?
Yes,
but I don't see him holding a singles championship and the crowd retaining much interest. Honestly, I feel like him is like the goofy, funny, under lower end, really low end mid Carter is, know.
And I mean, he's great, but it's also goes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But it also goes to show just how deep the talent pool is there. That like someone of his caliber is fucking gets to just like have fun and do the goofy shit. But yeah, I mean, either way, one of the things that I was thinking, I wanted to segue in from NXT going on the road and going to Chicago into this next question about build up on All In versus Bash in Berlin. Is ticket sales for All In have been pretty rough, man.
Well, see, and my whole thing is they did this last year. Like, it's the first time they they're overseas in the UK doing a show. Of course, it's going to sell out, but I mean, it's also an indication that as much as the AEW diehards will sit there and bitch and whine and complain and moan and groan of that anybody that says anything bad of anti-AEW is just either a WWE stan or just an AEW hater. The facts are facts. Like, AEW has taken a real dip in their quality. I mean, they've had some good stuff lately, but just overall, the product itself has not. Like, to me, AEW we used to be much watch for me all the time, but like I said, I was gone most of the evening. I've been watching a little bit of Dynamite, but it's like, if I don't finish Dynamite, I'm not going to feel like I missed much. Like, I don't watch Rampage. I don't watch Collision anymore. And it's just AEW is just, I don't know. I mean, I'm not feeling it.
Well, and I'm wondering with NXT going to Chicago and All In struggling, I mean, is NXT gonna sell a bigger crowd in Chicago than AEW does?
Well, I think they're going to, but I think that's in part due to the fact that AEW All Out is running at the Now Arena versus the United Center where it was last year, because the United Center holds way more. It holds a lot more than the Now Arena. And I mean, if they put All Out at the United Center, I bet it would outdraw the NXT show but and stuff, and just that fact alone, because it is, a big pay-per-view, and I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends actually come in from, out of state specifically that weekend just to see the show and stuff. So
Yeah, no, I have no doubts that all in will be all out will be a bigger show than NXT. I mean, the bottom line is who's going to headline NXT? Ethan Page. You know what I mean? And that's not to insult all ego. I'm a big all ego guy. Yeah, no, he's incredible. But like, who are people gonna, are more people gonna pay to see him, or are more people gonna pay to see, Will Ospreay or whatever?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I do think the build up to Bash in Berlin has been better.
Yeah,
that's only because I haven't seen any build up for All In.
There's been a bit of a build up for, like, I think the women's matches have probably gotten them. I feel like they've gotten the most build out of anything that's being for all. But like, I mean, we're almost a week out, and I still feel like there's so much more of the card that we don't know. Because I mean, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 matches have been announced.
You know what AEW should do? They should run a pay-per-view where they don't announce any matches in advance. It's like mystery vortex.
Spin the wheel, make the deal, baby.
No. They should do Battle Bowl.
Battle Bowl.
Battle Bowl is a guilty pleasure of mine when it comes to the world of pro wrestling. I will admit that.
Oh no. Oh yeah, it's not a guilty pleasure of mine, man.
Proud pleasure of his. He loves it.
That was like such good shoot episode like 2.
It was early on in our run.
Wow.
The first one was the Inferno match.
Yeah, it was.
Where we talked about Vampiro setting.
Oh, not the Inferno match. The Human Torch. Human Torch.
Yeah. Sorry, the Human Torch match where he set fucking Sting or whatever on fire.
Yeah.
Or Vampiro.
And Sting dove off the top of the Turnertron.
Dude, I just remember laughing so hard watching it because like there was like 10 people there with fire extinguishers. Mm-hmm. And like they're most of them were just like the fake ones that just spray like the CO2 or whatever.
Yeah.
And fucking they were just blasting him the whole time so no one could actually see him. They're like he was like not on fire at all. They're just spraying it all over the place. It was just so unnecessary and very,
God,
very funny.
That show stinks.
Yeah, I'm excited for Bash in Berlin. Gunther's gonna fucking whoop some serious ass there. That match should be great.
I'm interested to see where they go with Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens.
Yep. Yeah.
And then you got the mixed tag match, which right now that is like the match I'm looking forward to with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley against Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan.
You know what? It's not going to happen, but that match should headline the show. That's my 5-star take.
Damn.
When it comes to story, yes, but there's no way in hell they're doing a show in Berlin and Gunther's not headlining.
He's not German!
I know, but he's still going to headline that show. Watch.
I wonder if he's headliner, they're going to do is there any bloodline shit going on at that show?
Not yet.
Gotcha.
It has not been announced, so.
Because if Roman Reigns is on the show, Roman's headlining.
Oh, he's not going to be on that show. I don't see. I mean, maybe he may make an appearance, but he's not wrestling that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him wrestle till like Survivor Series.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me either. That's what sort of my expectation, but.
I think it's rumored. I think it's rumored. It hasn't been officially announced, but based on what happened on Raw, I want to say I think we're gonna get another CM Punk Drew McIntyre match, possibly a strap match in this time.
Dude, he whipped him with that fucking belt, bro.
Yeah, he did.
You know what they should do, and CM Punk should beat Drew next, and then they should run it back. What's the next big show?
I think it's Bad Blood, and that's where they're probably going to do that match.
The strap
in Hell in a Cell.
I was gonna say save it for fucking Survive. Oh, are they gonna do War Games for Survivor Series?
They're doing War Games again, so probably
that's the Bloodline match there. I think that is probably where Roman returns.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. God. I mean,
does Sammy join Roman's team for that one?
I think so, because
Why not?
feel like with the stuff that's been going on, because we're seeing a lot more interaction with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the start. Like I fully expect we're going to see, Roman, the Usos, and Sammy against Solo, the Tongans, and Jacob Fatu, assuming that Jacob Fatu his injury is either storyline or it's not that serious.
Everything I've heard is it's storyline, so they can keep
him away from Roman.
Him away from Roman, so they don't face off anytime before they actually want that.
Right.
Which makes a ton of sense.
Right, I agree.
Because that's going to be one hell of a blow-off match when those two finally go at it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be WrestleMania next year, right?
Well, you got The Rock.
You know what? I think
The Rock is going to come for him, isn't he?
Eventually, but I think. Do you think we get? Do you think that we get? Because eventually, at some point, we're going to get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, because The Rock told Cody he was coming back for him and he was coming for that title. So I don't know if necessarily. Maybe you get that at Survivor Series along with the Bloodline Civil War, but you're either going to get Roman versus The Rock at Mania finally, or you're going to get Roman versus Solo Sikoa for the head of the table at Mania. But I don't know if they can hold off that long. Like I think you're more likely going to get Roman versus The Rock.
Well, so hear me out here. You could just do 2 Roman matches again. Do Roman versus Solo night 1, and then Rock can, he can come back after Survivor Series, right? And just not be in either person's kind of party. And then just say, look, I'm the original head of the table. Whichever one of you fucking jabronis, wins night 1, comes and fights me night 2.
If Rock puts together his own team for War Games.
It's a fucking 12-man War Games?
No, I don't need that 98 War Games all over again.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking.
He's got fucking.
Piece. There's like one cage that goes this way.
We don't need that.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And how about that WCW Triple Cage of Doom shit? They could bring that back.
We can stack them up and we can drag them around a road on a trailer at the same time.
Oh.
Maybe somehow get the monster truck sumo wrestling involved too.
Ooh.
Why don't we just throw everything in a blender and just call it we had that match a few years ago at Backlash, which was like the greatest wrestling match of all time. Throw all those bad gimmicks in a blender and just call it the shittiest match of all time.
They could do Ava versus Nia in a fucking bra and panties match.
Oh god. Cousins.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
By the way, that just turned our first.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
No, I know that was for Shane.
Holy shit. No, I know. I'm just surprised it wasn't quite asking. I didn't even get that in the intro. So.
I think we broke him. I think he's broken.
Oh man, we've broken both of you. Now it's my turn to break. I broke you with that statistic. Shane broke himself with the broad panties match.
Yo, I'm really fucking stupid, and I like totally forgot that they were cousins. And then it just made it way more funny when I realized it.
Cousins, kissing cousins.
No.
Which leads to, what we need is better education for people, especially in situations like that. And what better way to get your education but from fucking gimmick wrestlers, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about this earlier today because, everybody's going back to school. My son just had finished his second day of fourth grade, and all these kids are either have just started school, been in school for a couple weeks, depending on where you live, or some of them are starting, like within the next couple of days. And I just thought, there's a lot of educational gimmicks out there, and I just was going to ask, like, what are your guys' favorite gimmicks? Shane, what's yours?
All right, I proposed a duel. So Isaac and I both had thoughts that we wanted to share for the show.
Yes.
Let's 3, 2, 1 it same at the same time and see if we thought of the same one.
Yeah, I was wondering where we're gonna be, but I don't know. I don't know
All right.
too well.
DDJ.
You count us down.
Okay, ready? Hold on a second. 3. Hold on a second. I'm gonna do this here. 3, 2, 1.
Scott Steiner.
Yours is really good.
What did you say?
The Spirit Squad.
Oh. Wow. You got to talk about thinking outside of the box, dude. It's I mean, it's got to be these recreational herbs. But
Spirit Squad, man, they're all about school spirit, bro.
Do I need to explain Scott Steiner? You know what I mean?
One of the greatest promos. I was watching a collection of it's like infamously bad promos, and that one was on there, and I'm like, that was so good.
Dude, his fucking TNA run as Big Papa Pump is one of the craziest things ever, dude. Fucking Petey Williams following him around.
Oh.
Little Petey
looking
Pump,
like Papa Pump, little Pop.
Yeah, little Papa Pump. But yeah, no. I mean that's that's my joke answer. The real answer is Damian Sandow.
I like that one.
I mean, hugely underrated, but he also didn't, do the 33 1/3% chance.
Yes.
At Beat Samoa Joe at what was the pay-per-view for that, Dennis? Yeah, Sacrifice sounds about right.
So Isaac, are you sticking with the Spirit Squad?
Well, the Spirit Squad's my joke answer. I'd say my real answer is probably, and I don't know, because like
your fucking answer is Barry Horowitz, dude.
I would say Dean Douglas, but it's also really? a shitty gimmick only because I think Shane Douglas is such a good wrestler, but it was such a shitty gimmick for him. But like, I don't know, like that's the thing is like I don't think that like the gimmick suits anybody that well ultimately. And I don't know, like maybe like no one who's really gotten that.
Yeah, I mean, and
gimmick part over.
Man, I really would have guessed.
I actually think I might have an answer for you on that. They got like that educational teacher type gimmick over. I mean, it wasn't like really over, but I think he was able to get some heat. I'm gonna say Matt Stryker. I think did a pretty good job with that.
Shane knows how much I love Matt Stryker.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Matt Stryker was
cool as hell. Like I've had the pleasure. Well, we'll say
up until probably the Michael Cole and Pat McAfee era. My favorite commentary team is him and Vampiro from fucking Lucha Underground. They were incredible together.
Those guys were great.
They were great together. It was really fucking good. But yeah, that's a decent answer. But I just don't know if anyone's like I mean, when you think about it, it's like, okay, you got like Lonnie, right? Or Lenny Poffo or whatever, but he never really was like was it the Genius or whatever?
The Genius.
Which, by the way, for the record, that was going to be my answer.
Yeah, and like I just feel like nobody. I mean, I just don't think it's a kind of gimmick that you can get over in the way because it is such a gimmick.
It's a job, you know what I mean, and none of those fucking job gimmicks, that came out, in like the early to mid 90s.
The guy who fucking buries dead people.
Well, yeah, but he's also a zombie. That's different. I mean,
yeah, he's a zombie Undertaker. Okay. He's also an American badass too. So
yeah,
leave him alone. Okay, he's just a loner on the road on his motorcycle.
Wow. Speaking of loners on roads on motorcycles, you guys have a thing that you do.
Yes, and that's not alone or on a motorcycle, but it is.
What
Let's
a
roll that.
segue.
It's time for Pics or It Didn't Happen with Isaac. Hey, that's me.
Hey, that's me.
Before we get into this, Shane, you blew the streak a couple weeks ago.
I did.
Yeah, dude.
Last week, if you didn't remember, Isaac got us back on track.
What was the pick for last week?
Was last week
Moxley.
Mox? Yeah, Mox.
And I had not one, but I had two pitchers.
Oh, one. Oh,
So
sad I missed those.
yeah. Well, go back and watch. If you're like Shane and missed last week's pick, so it didn't happen, and see if I had a picture with John Moxley, go back to the 5-Star Takes archives located at www.youtube.com/@5-Star-Takes, and you can watch last week's episode 18 to see for yourself. But Isaac, who's this week?
I think I this week is in honor of Shane, one of his old time favorites. One of his maybe the hottest man in wrestling, according to Shane. Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, Adam Cole, baby. So you did this one for Shane, huh?
I did.
So,
Adam Cole, baby.
Oh man, hold on a second before we do that.
Dude, DDJ, you would beat the shit out of Adam Cole. Holy crap. You would beat him up.
He is a
DDJ,
tiny dude, but he is
DDJ,
such a good dude.
You know Adam Cole has been, noted as being a pretty small wrestler relative, but I mean, DDJ, you
can put your foot up his ass and wear him as a snowshoe, okay? That's what he's trying to say.
You dominated. All right, dude. All right. This is a fuck Adam Cole podcast. We're going to get DDJ and Adam Cole to fight.
Dude, that would be dope.
No, we love it. I love it.
Okay, so I'm fighting fucking Nick fucking Gage.
Yeah.
DDJ, you've got Adam Cole. Who's Shane going up against?
I think he should go up against Christopher Daniels for the comments
that
he made about
that's true, man. Maybe Chris Daniels.
I mean, I could fight Chris Daniels, or hear me out here.
You know who I really want to see you fight?
Shane versus Micro Man.
So I was gonna say Hornswoggle, but
hey, I got the perfect stipulation for that match, Isaac. WLC.
Oh, dude, the WLC match, dude.
Dude, that match is fucking awesome, dude.
If you want to hear him talk a little bit about that, if you want to hear Dylan Postel talk about that, we got an interview on the YouTube of him when he on Such Good Shoot, man. And he talked about, and we told him how much fun that match was and how much we love WLC.
That match was fucking awesome. Like that match had no business being nowhere near as good as it was.
No, it was incredible, dude. It was so good. I mean, it was literally, and this is no exaggeration, the best thing on that fucking show that year. By
Can't
far.
argue against that.
That whole fucking show was dog shit except the WLC match. And it was the pre-show.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll never forget it. I mean, I remember
just watching it, be like,
which here's another one of my takes is if the WWE is gonna do like 3-hour pre-shows for shit, fucking put some matches on them.
Thank you.
I mean, like,
yes.
I
think Shane's broken, Isaac. I like big time. I think we might need to get him fit. Go take.
Get him fit. We gotta get him. We gotta get him some vacation time.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, they do a good job of like doing like stuff that matters.
They do a good job of doing stuff that matters.
Yeah. On the pre-show, right?
Yes.
But having no matches for 3 hours is crazy, especially when, you have storylines and things that could be, advanced and, showcase some, younger guys and stuff.
Or
Do
get
one
the little people wrestling. Give them a shot.
Yeah, do three WLC matches a pre-show.
Oh my god, a WLC match, like a little Hell in the Cell, and it's just like it's like it's just a giant dog kennel.
It's what, DDJ, I think it's time to take us home.
Thank God, because this is gonna get.
Hey, you know what? You know what? You know what else is closer to a country song than Play That Funky Music, White Boy? Is Take Me Home, Country Roads, to a place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
Oh,
Take me home.
Country Road.
Oh my
Good
god.
night, everybody.
Good night.
If we kept going, this show's approval rating would have went down the toilet.
We have one of those? Shit, all right. Oh my god.
By the way, for all of you, before we sign off, Shane's face was that red throughout the duration of the ending video because he literally just
I can't stop laughing either. We're having too much fun here, folks. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take this fun and we're gonna leave you, and
And
we're
I'm
gonna have all this fun by
Going
ourselves.
to bed.
Fuck yeah, dude. Me too.
E3.
Legends of the Ring Sting, man. This is a great figure, old school figure. Looks great. It's Sting! Old school Sting from WCW. Guys, you know us, 3/4 of the Shooting Shit team, and we're here with a listener just like you guys. This is Jimmy from Super Powers Comics.
My friend of almost 20 years. He's known him since you were 12.
If you know people in Chicago, you probably know Dennis because he knows half the town, of course. But shooters, if you need action figures, comics, wrestling memorabilia, we just showed you Sting. Superpowers Comics will put up their QR code so you can get a good look at everything they have coming. Give it a shot, shooters. Get your superpowers on and get your comics from our friend Jimmy, who listens just like you.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
This episode and all episodes of 5-Star Takes are now available on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@5-Star Takes. Be sure to like and subscribe. Get all of your 5-Star Takes news and updates by going to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/SHOOTINSHT. And as always, thanks for watching.